Hey guys, this is Daniel Dr. D, and I just want to put a little disclaimer out there about this tube rectifier device that comes from Space Tech Labs. I'm not affiliated with Space Tech Labs or anything like that. I just like covering esoteric things that you don't see much on the internet. And there's a debate as to whether or not rectifiers can change sound. You know, you always hear this argument, but you can Google it and see for yourself. There's many that will say it can, and some that say no, it doesn't. They think that it can't. Now, I think it's pretty well known that tube rectifiers are not part of the sound path, you know, internally, and that may be the case. And I'm not here to argue the technicalities. You're going to find arguments, debates about whether or not they can influence the sound. I mean, this can be on any level. You can be an astrophysicist and still have debates and arguments. It's endless. I mean, we all know that. I mean, look what the James Webb Space Telescope's doing, and you know, scientists are going mad with all these discoveries, and there's just no end to it, you know. But it is funny to me how you see a lot of tube rolling on YouTube. You know, there's endless videos on tube rolling. And tubes, when you change tubes, you know, sometimes it can make a little bit of difference. Some can make no difference to your ears. Sometimes it can make a bigger difference, and it just depends, you know. But these rectifiers, at least this device, this thing makes a pretty monumental change. I mean, it's far greater than what I've experienced when trying to compare tubes. And that's the irony of it. It's so bizarre to me. It's like, why is there no reviews on this thing? I just don't get it. And I just find that fascinating how this could not be covered in other YouTube channels. And, you know, I mean, there's tons of YouTube channels like what I'm doing here, but a lot of the products that are being covered are just the same products that everybody else covers. And, you know, but I see nothing on this. And that is just so bizarre. And this guy, Albert, who builds these things, he's been around for a long time. And his history goes quite far back. And I just think it's so bizarre, you know, how you don't see any credit to this guy. And I just think these kinds of things deserve a little mention once in a while. And unfortunately, you're going to go on YouTube like I did and try to research this, and you're going to find nothing. That's what's so weird about it. And yet it makes such an incredible difference to me, in my opinion. And I'm no engineer here. I don't claim to be. But you can definitely hear sound signatures in some cases. This one is quite profound. And you guys may recall that video where I mentioned Hi-Fi Cave had reviewed one of the super rectifiers and mentioned that if he was going to change something in his system, he would have added this thing first before other things. And I have to agree with that, because this thing really does make a monumental change. I don't think it's a gimmick or anything like that. It really opens the soundstage up, and it's like, for the money you pay, I mean, any price you pay, you can spend probably $10,000 in an amplifier, and it may not make as big a difference to sound as what this thing does for, anywhere from, I don't know, $1,000 to a few $1,000, whatever they cost. You can get the information on the Space Tech Lab website. Like I say, I'm not here to promote it. It's not my thing, but I do like covering some esoteric things and things that are different, and I just think it deserves mention once again. So hope you enjoy the video. All right, guys, this is Daniel Dr. D. Now, last week I did a review of the Super Rectifier, and this week I had an opportunity to listen to the Supreme Super Rectifier. It's got two 805 tubes, I believe these are here. And then we have 300Bs here. So we got a total of 4 tubes. Switches and everything are basically the same, except you've got more tubes here, and you get even more air, more everything. It's just, it's insane. And so I was sitting here listening to my friend Bob. We were listening to jazz music here, using Cobuzz and Rune, and absolutely astonishing. And there are a number of things on this kit that need to be discussed. So I'm trying to do this one at a time here, and I will just tell you, it's overwhelming. I'm just mystified how it is that nobody knows about this. It's beyond me. Okay, this is the STR-1003. Okay, I am just like gobsmacked. I was telling Bob when we were listening to jazz, and I said to myself, look at this. We've got open baffle. We got 2 open baffle subs here. And I'm telling you, man, I am just gobsmacked at jazz with this system. And I said to Bob, I said, I can't even, I don't even know what there is to improve. This whole thing here, which I'm going to discuss next week, this V-sub deal here, is incredible, man, the way this all works. And I'm just like, I'm gobsmacked at the sound of this and the combination. I mean, there are a number of things being thrown at me, so it's very overwhelming. But these rectifiers, just to begin with, and we'll get to this, like I say, next week, are phenomenal, man. You've got to, well, where are the reviews on Audio Mart, or where does he
Audio Mart?
Yeah, Al, who makes these things, I think he has almost like 150 reviews on Audio Mart, all 5-star reviews or whatever. Yeah, 100% reviews. What's that?
Space Tech Labs.
Yeah, Space Tech Labs. And there's a logo right there. Just phenomenal. Something else I want to mention to you guys. What I did is I brought my Aretha, which is a phenomenal preamp. I've had this as one of my reference, so I keep this, and this won't be going anywhere. However, you know, between this and the Dawn Sax, okay, forgetting rectifiers just altogether, there's probably just a tad more roll off, and it's kind of nice. Bob actually likes it. Now, I like it too. But when you add the super rectifiers to the Dawn Sax, which I cannot do with there's no rectifier stage to plug into on this. This system just turns into an entirely another level of music. You know, the fullness, the richness, the sound stage, the holographic sound. It's crazy, man. If there is someone, you know, what people are doing is they're adding these rectifiers to different components that allow them to be added. So that's one of the astonishing things about this. Now, I had a discussion, I need to share this, you know, where some people are dubious about using rectifiers. They're not part of the sound, you know, and so, I don't know. I'm just going based on what I'm hearing. I'm not really necessarily looking at the technical aspects of that. You guys can argue that, but you cannot deny the way it sounds. So I'm just going based on the way it sounds, and it just sounds supreme. So this or this with this, I'm not going to be able to achieve that with just this on its own the same way. And so this is going to depend on what you want to add to your system. If it's necessary, you know, that's on you. So anyway, I'll be back at you soon.